You're listening to the Perfect Squares podcast, episode 9. I'm Lizzy.
And I am made of Diet Coke. I'm Jessica.
I'm made of Coke Zero, so it's alright.
Oh, it's true.
Do some product placement up in here.
Whoa! We're the same.
Well, mine's cherry, so.
Mine's not. It's just regular Diet Coke. But it's Guillermo del Toro's Diet Coke, so.
Did it come from him?
Yes, it did. It's from his refrigerator.
Oh.
Well, his refrigerator in his green room. He didn't drink it, so I took it.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight, we're playing Would You Rather
Yay!
in our chat that goes away at the end of every podcast.
Right.
So if you were listening from not the radio, because we're not syndicated, but if you're listening in your car or
I do have that sweet NPR voice.
Yeah. If you're listening or watching this later, fear not, because the chat disappeared and you missed out on nothing. And who knows what questions were asked except the ones that we had time to answer. So I got my bangs cut, and now I look like a Romulan.
No, definitely a Vulcan. I'm just kidding.
I'll accept Vulcan as well.
They look delightful.
It's fine, whatever. It is what it is. You can't uncut your bangs, so
that's
actually
true.
you can wear bang extensions. They make those.
I wish I'd known that in high school. The one time I decided to cut my bangs, and it turned out looking like this weird 80s angle thing, except done by a toddler. So.
Yeah, when I was Googling myself today, I realized that the last time. You were
doing it in private.
No, I was doing it in public because someone asked me what I was going to be for Halloween, and because I haven't had time to make a Halloween costume, I was like, Jessica Mares in cosplay to see like maybe what costume I should just pull out of my closet and wear.
Right.
And then I found a picture in my Google Images when like Chloe Dykstra and pictures of furries, which I don't really know why like people's DeviantArts like pop up when you Google my name and cosplay, but whatever. Different strokes. But I found a picture of the last time I got my hair done professionally, and it was May. So somehow, like, and I mean, I guess, like, it's not that I have gray hair. Like, I get kind of jealous of all the people who are like, oh my God, I have gray hairs. And I'm like, it's not that I, like, wish I had gray hairs, but I keep looking, and it's not happening. But I have this, like, I just have, like, this, I don't even know what to call it. It's just this, like, dishwater hair.
Dishwater hair. It's like something my mom would say.
Yeah, so that was the last time I cut my bangs, or actually someone else trimmed my bangs and did a lovely job. And so last night in this fit where my bangs were like this long, I was like, I'm going to cut my bangs. And then I like pulled them down and I was like, great. Oh no, that was not, oops.
Great. And then you just keep like cutting and they get shorter and shorter.
I didn't even do that. I was like, there's nothing I can do about this. Guess I should just go like this and hope for the best. That looks great, doesn't it?
No. Do it like totally up in the front. Like
now, I almost kept them like this and like just went like, and I was like, this would look great on, you know, in like a hipster coffee shop. This is something that someone would spend like $100 for. Like
this time of the year is just bang problems.
Look at this.
I had mine singed off last year. You gave yourself.
This is the second time you've wanted to talk about how you caught yourself on fire.
It was a memorable experience.
You should probably mention it in case people haven't heard the story of how you caught yourself on fire. Make it brief because we have a game of Would You Rather to play.
All right, so approximately 1 year ago from Jessica's birthday, which was last Saturday, I went to a birthday party at Holly's house for Jessica, and it was a costume party, and I was dressed as one of the Red Jaguars from Legends of the Hidden Temple, and there was discussion of lighting her fire pit and fireplace. Well, apparently there was some confusion about what key went to what, because the original idea was we were out of matches, so I lit some paper on fire in the kitchen, and I was going to take it over to the fireplace, put it in, close the doors, and then turn on the gas, you know, like you normally do with fireplaces. However, the key to the fire pit, which is outside, and the fireplace got mixed up, so the gas had been on. So I walked over, opened the doors with the flaming piece of paper in my hand, and blew the top off of Holly's chimney, and also lit my hair on fire. And the entire house shook, and it smelled like my singed hair for like the entire party. And I'm sorry for ruining your birthday, Jessica.
It was like a tiny earthquake, and I think that that's a little bit egotistical to say that you ruined my birthday.
Right.
Yeah. It was a great birthday. You didn't ruin it.
Well, thank you.
I'm debating whether I should just keep my bangs this way for the whole thing.
I think you should.
I think I look kind of like, if you couldn't see the back of my hair, I think I kind of look like that professor who teaches the kids how to use brooms in Harry Potter.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
It doesn't matter. Everyone had this conspiracy theory that Lizzy was a giant like Potterhead, and she knew everything about Harry Potter and just wouldn't admit it, because she would like know some facts about it that we were like,
It's called cultural osmosis.
Anyway, let's get down to it. We're gonna play Would You Rather, and this is a game that we were convinced we invented in the 7th grade because we used to spend all day together at school, and then we would go home and we would conference call each other, and we would play Would You Rather. Or we would pass this to each other and play. And I think it got pretty inventive. So we're gonna play Would You Rather.
Sounds
good. We have asked our viewers, because unfortunately our listeners could not participate in this because we didn't announce it ahead of time.
Right.
Our viewers, unless you have this in a tab and you are not watching, in which case you missed my bangs, you know. They submitted questions in the chat room that's going to disappear later. So if we don't get to your question, I'm really sorry. I am reading all of them, but we have already wasted 10 minutes talking about not Would You Rather. So let's dive right into it. Our very first question, which we should celebrate, from Ali RX, is: would you rather have no legs and walk with your arms, or no arms and pick up stuff with your legs?
I'm going to go with, let's say, no legs, because I hate feet and I don't want to pick up things with my toes.
Oh, yeah. You do hate feet, and you don't want to get them, like, close to your mouth.
Plus, then I have hands, which are useful, and, I don't know, it can be, like, in a wheelchair and stuff, right? Like, that's not...
Yeah, you could be in a wheelchair or on a skateboard or
whatever.
Yeah.
Doing things, mobility style.
Yeah. I would I'm like trying to think. I
I can totally see you as handless.
Yeah, I think I could too. I do have very soft hands, but if I had to use my hands for a lot of different things, my hands wouldn't be as soft anymore. That would I wouldn't be able to talk about how soft my hands are. I I don't have nice legs, but my legs are nicer than a lot of other things on my person. So it would be, and I feel like my legs would get even nicer if I was forced to use them for even more things. So I think I think I would have legs that I utilize for everything.
Would you drive? I guess, how would you drive? I mean, I guess people without.
Yeah, people do it.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, they just like have it's just like specialized
Oh, like pedals, like they can
controls.
use, like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
It's just specialized pedals.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Good answer.
it's a grand world out there
Yeah, technology.
for the differently abled.
Jesus.
Why are you laughing at me?
I just was thinking, so.
Not everything has to be a joke at other people's expense on this
No, I'm
place.
laughing. Jesus, I'm laughing at these signs that were put around my university that were like, attitude is the real disability. And I was like, how fucking, like, condescending is that?
What? That doesn't even make sense.
No, I know. It's totally stupid. And they wasted all this money putting these signs on the lawns. So, there you go. That's what I was laughing at.
Is there like a huge attitude problem at your school? Like there's just a giant morale issue?
That I can definitely attest to.
That like students just go up and sass people? They're just sassy students and they have bad attitudes?
No, do they just walk around with this whole look on their face, looking like somebody just pissed in their fruit brute or whatever?
Yeah, like everyone has resting bitch face at your school.
Yeah, basically. But most of all, me.
So all the signs are for you.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
So attitude is the real disability, and Lizzy is a huge narcissist. So, as evidenced by me thinking that I ruined your birthday personally.
And that all the signs were for you.
Right. Onward.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Yes. Okay. So, because everything's about Lizzy, I'm going to ask one that's for Lizzy. This one's for Lizzy from Caveman313. This one's for Lizzy. Would you rather have your own fully weaponized Hulk Buster armor or an army of talking grizzly bears to do your bidding?
Holy shit, they talk. Oh, man. Okay, so the idea is somebody magically gifts me Hulkbuster armor, or I can have a legion of talking bears to do my bidding. I think I'm going to go with the talking bears, because I live in this fantasy world where I'm like, I could build that, whatever, weaponized suit, I got that. Just, go to Michael's, pick up some stuff. But I can't make real talking grizzly bears. I don't have the technology to uplift them to that level, so I'm going to go with my large flotilla of grizzly bears.
So now it's a large flotilla of grizzly bears?
Yeah, the idea is that they'll all come in on like a raft, like a giant raft, and then sort of like Normandy, like kind of...
A raft? Like they're... Like it's a water rapids?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like talking and shouting, morale boosters to each other, and then they kind of, go up on the breakers and
So they don't have bad attitudes.
And dispatch. No, the bears have excellent attitudes. They're not bad attitude bears.
No. They know how to get along.
I could learn something.
They are legion.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You should spend a day with the bears.
I would, if it were possible for me to not get mauled. So
So they have great attitudes, but they'd still maul you.
well,
Even though they'd be
no,
your
I thought you were talking about like real bears, not my fantasy bears. Please don't take that out of context. I don't know why I just said fantasy bears. The totally platonic, awesome bears of my
Now, which kind of bears are we talking about? Are we
grizzly bears.
talking about your fursona kind of bears, or are we talking about like
fuck's
you
sake.
being into like bears like hairy gay men?
Oh my god. Neither.
Would you rather be with a bear furry or a bear?
Bear being
A leather daddy.
leather daddies and
Bear.
bears aren't necessarily the same thing. I don't think.
A bear
sure,
who's also a leather daddy.
Sure, I'd hang out with a leather daddy. Whatever.
So that's who you would choose?
That's who I would choose.
You're not hanging out with
Who
him.
would you choose?
You would be with him.
What, in a like biblical sense?
Yes. You would lay with him.
I would lay as with a man who is not a leather daddy.
He makes one exception for you.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with a leather daddy.
All right.
Who would you
The
choose?
leather daddy bear. I would. All right, follow my logic here.
Okay, I'll try.
For some reason, I imagined that the furry bear was Little John from Robin Hood, and I would immediately dump him and find Robin Hood the fox.
No, see, that's not how it works.
Well, that's how it works.
I could be like, oh, I'm gonna dump the leather daddy and go for the hottest dude in the club.
That like there was no connection there.
What? Yeah, I presumably
How
go
are you
to
gonna
like leather bars with the leather daddy. There will probably be other leather daddies. This has gone into
so
a
you
weird
just
place.
get with a leather daddy. You're still with leather daddy.
Well, what, you know?
So you're just shallow.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just thought you were going to stick me with some arbitrary leather daddy.
I didn't say that he wasn't handsome.
Okay, all right. Well,
All I know is he has a mustache.
well, you know, as long as he has a good personality, that's what really
I'm not
matters.
saying he's Freddie Mercury, like mustache material. You know, I can't give you the moon, but
Phrasing.
would you rather, and this one comes from Tony, our #1 fan, although anyone who's listening or watching this is able to dethrone Tony at any given time. Suggestions welcome on how that's possible. This one comes from
Who will be the usurper?
This one comes from Tony. Would you rather have random amounts of coins fall out of your butt every time you farted, or have to listen to a baby crying whenever you poop?
Well, this is easy for me. So I would probably go with the coins because money. Plus, I mean, you can always do it like in private. It might be inconvenient, but then you have like ass pennies.
Are the coins dirty?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take
Yeah.
it as it's like urine or something, and it comes out sterile as long as it doesn't touch anything else.
No, it's not urine. Is out of a different hole.
No, I know. I'm saying it's like how urine comes out sterile. I'm imagining sterile coins coming out of, you know, that other orifice.
If Tony had said every time you pee, coins come out, then I would say yes, they're sterile.
But why can't they be sterile coming out of the butt?
Typically, urine is sterile, like inside you, and then when you pee, it like.
Well, that's because it starts touching other things that are not sterile.
Right. So he did not say that.
Okay.
But they fart, and farting is not peeing. That's not the same.
I never said it was.
So unless you're just giving yourself like enemas all the time, and I still think that like that doesn't keep everything clean, you're going to have to wash the coins afterwards.
Okay, well, whatever. That's not that inconvenient. So anyway, the point is I'm not going to be listening to babies crying while I poop, because that's, I require a special set of circumstances to, do that anyway.
I would rather listen to the babies, because I don't find that activity something that I like to, just sit and spend a lot of leisure time doing. So it doesn't bother me that I'd like to get it over with quickly. So.
All right. Well, sounds legit.
Have fun washing your coins, like 15 times a day. Because I think that's how many times that happens a day, something like that, right?
It wasn't I don't know. I always do it in the privacy of my own home. So.
I'm just saying.
And I feel like it's not that often. But.
Okay, well, whatever. But I think I've read that on average, humans pass gas 15 times a day. Someone can figure it out and let us know.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay. Let's move on. I'm going to scroll down further so that we're seeing everything. Would you rather, this one is from Catherine Miller, would you rather be transported 1,000 years into the future or 1,000 years into the past?
You go first.
I'd rather be transported 1,000 years into the past. I know what happened back then, and I think I could.
But do you really?
Yes, I do know what happened back then to a certain extent. The only thing that would be kind of unfortunate is I wouldn't, under the circumstances based on how the question was asked, it's unclear where I would be transported. So I don't know where I'm going or when I'm going. I don't know if I have time. Do I have time to prepare for where I'm going? You definitely don't know where you're going in the future. There's no way you can prepare. Hopefully I'm not just going in 5 minutes from now and I have no idea that I'm going in the past. Because I would like to just read up on world geography and history so that I know a little bit about everything, and I can prepare the doctor or something and be like, oh, I know what's going to happen, and here are some fixed moments that I should just be aware of. Plus, I think it'd be fun. And I love history, so it'd be great. It'd just be like drunk history, except I'd be there living it, and I'd be drunk because water's not safe.
All right. I'm going to go with the future.
Oh, how surprising.
Oh, well, it's surprising that you went with history. I mean, that's your major.
Well, you were like, what would you pick first? And I was like, why are you even acting like this is a question?
Because I honestly was thinking back in terms of, maybe I could do some, Back to the Future shit and, but then I'm
the past and the future? You could cheat the question?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about the context of your answer.
Okay, well, the future, I'm going to digress from my normal cynicism and say that the future will be awesome. And there will be, all those sorts of eradicable diseases will finally be eradicated, and, there will probably be, robot overlords, but hopefully they're benevolent. And, yeah, I mean, I am seriously interested in whether or not the Earth will even be here.
What if none of those things happen?
Well, then I guess I'm sorely disappointed. But it's okay, because I went to the future.
I wonder if we get to come back, or if we have to stay there.
I'm imagining we have to stay there.
For the rest of our life?
That's the way I would interpret the question. So I'm going to live in what I'm going to imagine is this like awesome, post-scarcity society where I can crap sterile coins and yeah, it'll be good.
I really would like to try to leave a message for someone.
Is it going to be like written, or is it going to be? I mean, obviously, right? But
Where was the Rosetta Stone?
More than 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, so I'd just go find the Rosetta Stone and I'd write on it.
Okay, well, so it's going to be like Jessica was here.
Something like that. I would just write something and
what if archaeologists and anthropologists of today think it's a hoax and are like, great, some vandal defaced the Rosetta Stone because it was totally anachronistic.
I just like do something like totally immature, like people like having. I just like draw a little like
stick figures doing it.
Petroglyph of like people having sex on it.
Right. Just like dick pictures, just everywhere.
Yeah. And everyone's like, those guys.
Those guys back in the past.
They were all dying, and they needed something to comfort them.
Nothing says comfort yourself from the perils of the past, like dick pics.
Okay, so this one comes from Butter, who has a profile picture of toast butter side up. Would you rather be able to talk to animals or be able to speak all foreign languages? This would come in handy to our trips to the future and or the past.
Right. I don't really like people.
I was just going to say the same thing.
So I feel like having the ability to converse with more people is not necessarily something that is up my alley. Just kidding. No. I'm actually just like really awful at learning foreign languages.
Well, this doesn't say you have to learn. Like, no one's just sitting there and being like, you have to learn all the languages.
I'm just imbued with the ability to suddenly
speak all foreign languages.
I say. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with animals.
I would love to talk to animals. I would also be very afraid that as soon as I had that ability, I would be just appalled and shocked and disturbed and disgusted by what I found out.
I'm going to go ahead and take this to be the bonus round of the earlier question of Hulkbuster armor versus Legion of Bears, because if I can talk to the bears, I can probably convince them to join the battalion, the bear battalion.
Like, what if you found out, like, you could talk to the animals and you got to talk to my dog Grizzly Bee, and you found out he was a terrible racist? Like, he was, like, some kind of...
I guess I wouldn't be friends with Grizzly Bee anymore.
Like, you just found out he was, like, a neo-Nazi sympathizer or something.
What the hell? How do dogs even know what Nazis are?
They watch TV. I've seen them watch TV.
So it's like Grizzly Bee is just plopped down in front of the History Channel all the time.
Yeah, like you walk away from the TV and it's just, one of those days when the History Channel isn't broadcasting Pawn Stars and it's, on like...
Instead it's like, it's either Pawn Stars or Hitler or aliens.
Yeah, it's
pawning off ancient alien Nazi artifacts.
Yes. And you just find out that your dog is a neo-Nazi, and you're just like...
Yeah, I don't think so.
You expect it from humans.
Yeah, I don't expect that kind of nonsense from animals.
My mom thinks that my dog's a little racist.
Why does your mom think that the dog is a little racist?
He had a bad experience with a groomer once, and ever since then, he loves to bark at people. But my mom thinks that there's a disproportionate amount of barking that happens at, like, certain ethnic groups?
I don't want to know. I think you've actually told me this story before.
I don't know whether I can corroborate the story, but
right.
That's why I was like, maybe I just shouldn't find out a terrible truth about a former loved one. It's like how if you could read like your mother's diary.
No, thank you.
Would you want to?
No.
No, you don't want to know.
No. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, you don't want to know someone's like deepest, most personal thoughts.
No. That's their thing. That's not my thing.
In the same sense that I wouldn't want someone inside my head, which is why when I was a kid I was so paranoid that like people were telepathic and could hear like all the terrible things I was thinking. Sometimes I would think terrible thoughts and be like, oh, what if someone knows what I'm thinking right now? And I would have to like try to will myself not to think bad things. It never worked. But that's like, maybe I shouldn't talk to my dog because maybe my dog deserves that same privacy that I don't want telepaths.
Well, couldn't your dog just like ignore you? Just like walk away? I mean, that's something that animals do anyway. Except now you know that the animal is ignoring you on purpose.
Yeah, I know that I can talk to them and they can talk back, and now they're just being passive aggressive.
Yeah, now they're just being assholes like people, so it doesn't sound like a loss to me.
Yeah, now like I hate people and animals.
Yeah. Really, this is great. Now you can go into the past and you won't miss anybody.
Yeah, now I'm just forever alone.
Right. Forever alone in the past.
Let's move on. All right.
These are some good questions.
This one is oh, I just lost it. Okay. This one is from a person whose name I'm probably going to screw up because it is not John Smith. Tiago Manuel says, would you rather live without pizza or without porn? And I think that's a subtle reference to Chloe's show, Pizza and Porn, which is on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time on her channel, youtube.com/skydart. Lizzy, would you rather live without pizza or without porn?
I would rather live without porn.
I would rather live without porn because I have a vivid imagination. And this question did not state that I'm not allowed to use my head.
Right? So, I mean, it's just like business as usual if I choose to go without porn.
Although, if I had to live without pizza, here's my favorite substitute for pizza. I like to eat, when I was a kid, I haven't made it in a long time because, you know those foods that just taste better when someone else makes it? Even though it's quite easy to make yourself?
Right.
Like the perfect cheese sandwich?
Right.
My mom would make, she would take a flour tortilla, then she would put tomato sauce, just like Prego tomato sauce.
I was about to say, I wasn't going to say ragu because I know your mom is better than that.
Yeah, just like Prego or, no, her favorite tomato sauce was Paul Newman tomato sauce.
My dad loves the Paul Newman sauce.
My mom loves Paul Newman.
Yeah.
So Paul Newman, though? I know.
He's so charitable.
He is. And his daughter. Paul Newman tomato sauce, and then she would sprinkle just cheddar cheese on top. And then she would put it in the microwave for a minute, and then she would cut it into 8 slices of pizza. Sometimes she would put another tortilla on the top.
And it's like a quesadilla, but with sauce.
It was a quesadilla pizza, Lizzy.
Okay, sorry.
If she wanted to be super fancy, she would fry it in the skillet. So it was like a crunchy quesadilla pizza.
That sounds pretty legit, actually. It's pretty delightful sounding.
Yeah, it was awesome, but it was like the easiest thing ever, and it had absolutely no nutritional value. And I could easily make it. but I don't.
Right.
Because I guess I'm supposed to be an adult, and I probably shouldn't eat stuff like that, but I loved it. So I wonder if that would count towards pizza. Like, do you think that's pizza?
No, I'm, like, interpreting pizza in the classical sense. So, like, I'm imagining you could also have pizza-flavored things, even though those are usually disgusting. Let me correct myself, almost always disgusting.
Wait, what?
Let me correct myself again, are always disgusting.
No, I like pizza-flavored Pringles.
Okay, that is the one exception. Pizza-flavored Pringles are okay. But that's because they don't really taste like pizza. They just taste like some weird other Pringle chip.
They just taste like spices.
Yeah, they just taste like, like seasonings, like garlic and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like pizza-flavored stuff.
No, well, I still like you.
What about Lunchables pizzas?
No, gross. Don't want any.
No, what's wrong with you? I eat them all the
disgusting.
time.
Oh, everything is cold. The crust is like soggy. It's like a soggy cracker.
Not a cracker.
Well, whatever. Like faux crust. It's like, I don't know. It tastes like. It just tastes damp. I don't know how else to put it. The crust is really what's off-putting. That and the cold ass cheese.
Well, you have to like let it sit out for a little while.
Yeah, but then it like gets like, I don't know.
It's for lunch. It's not for like taking out of the fridge and eating right away.
I just am like thinking back to like the 2 times my mom ever bought it for me, and it was still cold. It was still cold by lunchtime.
Did she put like one of those ice packs in your lunch?
No, it was like in an insulated like baggie, but like that's not like vacuum sealed. It's still going to, you know.
Like one of those igloo?
No, it was like soft. It was like soft.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but mine aren't like that. This is how you make the perfect Lunchables pizza. You open the Lunchables pizza. You take all 3 of the Lunchable pizza crust out. You're going to need a spoon. You take your sauce and this is the important thing. People think they can make them one at a time, but there's always going to be one of the pizzas that just doesn't get the attention it deserves if you do that. So you need to lay them all out. You need to spread your pizza sauce in a circular motion so that it gets all around the crust. Now, Lunchables kind of did away with the little stick that helps you spread the whole thing. I personally don't like using the little plastic sauce thing to
process it. Nothing is appealing about that.
It's a ritual. Anyway, so I don't like spreading it with the sauce packet because I think you're now wasting sauce, and you don't get that much sauce. So you just have to be very careful when you're spreading the sauce. The best way to open the sauce packet, there's a really good way so that you're only opening just a tiny corner so that way your sauce spread is very thin. Next, you take your spoon and you spoon into your cheeses, and then you sprinkle them over, because otherwise it's just hard to control your cheese distribution. Then if you have pepperonis, then you need to like count your pepperonis out, and then you have your pepperonis. Then you eat your pizzas, and it's just delightful. Some people microwave their pizzas after this, but I personally don't. I like them as is. And I usually eat 2 Lunchables pizzas because I'm not full after one.
Well, there you go, everybody. You now know how to assemble Lunchables pizzas the Jessica Marizan way.
Well, yeah, if you don't want to give up corn, you can have corn and Lunchables pizzas and Pringle flavored pizza, and you can make my mom's tortilla pizzas.
Right. Moving on.
Dan Mahoney asks, would you rather be stabbed or get shot? Neither will kill you in this scenario.
I think I'd rather get shot.
Why?
I don't know. Just sounds cooler. Like, oh, I got shot. Like, oh, where's that scar from? I got shot. That sounds like way more awesome than I got stabbed. Like, that just sounds like it's like a casual mugging. Whereas, like, I don't know, when they pull out a gun, shit's getting real.
Really? Casual mugging?
Yeah, casual mugging.
I think I would rather be stabbed because I think that shooting is just like so cowardly.
You want to get into fisticuffs with your assailant?
Well, yes, I think that if someone's going to stab me, I think that like that means it's just close encounter, and you know they're obviously crazy, or they mean business, or some kind of shit went down. It was probably personal if they stabbed me.
I guess that's true.
Stabbings are usually personal.
I'm gonna need a citation on that.
It's true.
Stabbings are personal. I think statistically speaking, stabbings are probably less personal. But are you Googling it right now? Are most stabbings done by acquaintances? I am having a hard time finding any sort of statistic on this.
Personal conflict. Now it's just really hard to find it because there's I can't find it, but it did say personal acquaintances somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, most murders are done by people who know you. That is generally accepted.
I'm not sure about the validity of that claim either, but...
Well, it's true. That is true. I know that for a fact. Anyway.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so I would rather be stabbed.
All right.
I would rather just, like, I would like blood to happen. You know, like, when you get... There's, like, not as much blood as there is on TV.
Right.
It's not really as bloody. I find that disappointing.
Well, I mean, how many people have you stabbed?
None, as far as you know.
Right.
I'd also like to get stabbed with a ceramic knife.
Well, that is the perfect murder weapon.
Would you like to elaborate?
No.
I think that the perfect murder weapon...
It's my calling card.
The perfect murder weapon is an icicle.
That's true. My mom told me about that, one of the first times I saw icicles, which was when I was, 10. And my mom took me to Oak Glen to see the snow.
Okay.
I was like, oh, wow, real icicles. And she's like, did you know that would be the perfect murder weapon? And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, think about it. Somebody dies in the snow. They're stabbed by the icicle. The snow will melt away, like most of the evidence probably, right? And then the icicle melts and you have no weapon.
I'm sure there might be some kind of particle residue inside the wound, possibly, but
it's not like you can get prints off of it or anything.
Well, no, but it's not like CSI where people are gonna look that hard to trace amounts of microbes. So, yeah. So stabbing and gun wounds. Would you like to have the bullet still stay inside you for the rest of your life, or would you?
Yeah, totally. Because then it's like, oh, sorry, I am setting off the metal detectors. There's a bullet lodged in me, and then you can make the TSA people feel really bad, which isn't really fair because I'm sure a lot of them feel bad about being forced to do shitty things. But whatever. Hopefully I'll never need an MRI.
Yeah.
With the bullet.
Yeah, you just
or
have
anything else, I guess. But yeah.
Okay. This next question is by Systems Nominal. Would you rather be the only mundane human in a world where magic was real, or would you rather live your entire life in this world believing you and you alone had magical powers? I would like I would
I already
like.
do the second thing.
I know. Does this mean that I do have magical powers, or I just believe I do?
See, I'm taking it as you just believe you do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that one. Everything is status quo.
Yeah, because I never like feeling left out.
I know.
Like
The
that.
first option excludes people, namely me.
Not just people, it's literally just you.
I'm having a day.
I do like the idea of magic being real.
It's old hat.
I mean, if I believed I had magic
Sorting
powers.
hat. How's that for a Harry Potter reference? Huh?
You have read the books!
No, I haven't.
Or you haven't.
No, I really haven't.
Okay.
I mean, I have.
Confirmed.
For those of you listening, Jessica and I just did a lot of awkward winking at each other.
As you do.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, living my entire life believing that I alone had magic powers, I feel like my life would be a bit more enchanting. Or the other problem with that is I wonder if I would tell people I had magic powers. Like, would I be like I'm trying to remember his name.
I thought you were trying to use them right now.
I'm just like,
yeah, basically.
no, what's his name? I can't remember his name. In A Beautiful Mind, where...
John Nash, Nobel laureate John Nash.
Would I be like John Nash, where I kind of convey...
It's like that, but like with wizard shit on Windows.
Yeah, where I convey the belief that I have magical powers and everyone thinks I'm crazy or like schizophrenic. And I'm like, no, I can levitate things. It's really hard being me. And or in John Nash's case, he has this like college roommate who, you know, is his like best friend that no one else can see and doesn't exist, and he lived a very tragic, tormented life. So would my life be enchanting, or would it be tragic and I would be institutionalized and have to take like antipsychotics?
People are shit, so I'm gonna guess the second one.
Yeah, like I wonder if I would be smart enough, if I like truly believed I had these magical powers, I wonder if I'd be smart enough to like hide it from the world knowing that no one would believe me, or if I'd be like, no, I need to tell people.
I would assume you would only come out with your magic to certain people.
I just imagine that I tell my closest friends and they just like start crying and they're just like, I don't know how to help you.
I'm always here if you want to talk about your magic powers, Jessica. All right, onward.
Watch It Wiley You Poop Too asks, would you rather eat a spoonful of dirt every day at 1:34 p.m. or eat a gallon of ketchup every Thursday at 3:12 a.m.?
I'm going to go with the dirt because I'm pretty sure that much ketchup would make me vomit. Plus, ketchup in large quantities is positively revolting. I legitimately like ketchup as a condiment, but I can't like see like big dishes of it or like it like Carl's Jr. commercials. Or Hardee's, I guess, if you're on the East Coast. Rallies, Checkers, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Sonic.
The Sonic Burger. They like have those commercials where it's usually some like really sexualized woman like biting into some nasty burger and the ketchup is just like dripping out. That's disgusting. That in no way, shape, or form makes me want to patronize that restaurant. So...
Well, this doesn't say that you can't dress up either thing.
Well, I'm going to dress up the dirt. I'm going to bake it in a cake.
So every single day now you're eating cake?
Cake dirt, one tablespoon or whatever it is, teaspoon.
Yeah, I wonder if I could just like put it in puddings and stuff.
Yeah.
See, at first my thought was I will just put stuff. I will just like I will just season up the ketchup
Oh.
and like, you know, make it some kind of stew or something and
Ew.
you know, make it better.
Ew.
But I think maybe I would just incorporate the dirt into some food.
Yeah.
And just
like you do
swallow
with
it whole.
Yeah, like you do with medications, right? Like some mashed potatoes or something.
I just would have a very awful lunch. But like, don't you think that the food would get impacted and you'd die?
Well, I mean, presumably in the realm of would you rather, I don't think things like mortality matter. It's just whether or not you would do some gross thing. That would be
Really?
momentarily unpleasant.
But it's every single day forever until you...
Yeah, but I'm imagining like the dirt, you know, goes through. The dirt train just keeps chugging along your colon and yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
You probably wouldn't be vitamin deficient. Well, actually, you probably would because it's just like dirt. It's not like enriched dirt.
Well, you'd be probably a little bit of, like, better minerals. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not a biologist.
N Shade 321 asks, would you rather live in a world where you had no electricity or live under a fascist regime?
I'm going to go with no electricity.
Yeah, I'd go without electricity as well.
Yeah.
I don't really know how, like, to what extreme these fascists are going.
Right.
So I feel like
in general, it's a good idea to avoid fascism. I feel
by
like
agreeing to live with the fascists, I feel like I'm tacitly agreeing to condone.
Yeah.
Fascism.
You're like complicit with fascism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody wants that, so.
No, and I mean, like, I guess, like, technically in theory, they're, you know, most philosophies are technically, like, okay on paper, but practically speaking, I have a feeling probably there'd be loads of flaws, and I'm sure there's, like, piles of bodies.
Fascism, it'll work this time, said nobody ever.
Yeah. So I'd just rather live without electricity. People got along without it for most of history.
Yeah, that's true.
And fascism was also something that people got along without for loads of history.
So really, it's a win-win.
Yeah. Technically, the only thing connecting history is that fascism and electricity
We're like
in the same time.
Like, yeah. Oh my god. I guess you could probably like
connect the rise of fascism and electricity.
Ergo, electricity creates fascists.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, was Thomas Edison a fascist sympathizer? Because it wouldn't surprise me, considering like how much he stole from other inventors.
Oh, I mean, he probably was. I mean, he was a shitheel for sure. So, and I think like Henry Ford was too.
Oh, Henry Ford absolutely was a fascist.
Yeah, like super fascist, right?
Yeah, he was. Remember his like weird ass like colony that he made in like Bermuda or wherever the hell that was, and he.
I thought
like,
that was Walt Disney, and I thought that was.
No, that was Walt Disney's Utopian Society in Florida that became Epcot. That wasn't fascist at all. It was just like basically.
I don't know. It sounds like fascism light to me.
No, Henry Ford made this like crazy ass like Ford Model T society in like some kind of third world country, and it was a real treat for no one except for Ford. Yeah, lots of famous, respected people were secretly or not so secretly fascist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should we should probably stay away from that and just like turn out all our lights and adopt candles.
It's environmentally friendly too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, except for the fact that we would be burning like a bunch of coal and natural gas, I guess, to like heat our homes. But
who needs the fossils?
Whatever. CO2.
All right. So, okay, this one is interesting to wrap your mind around. Alex Dunn asks, would you rather have the power to be intangible or the power to be invisible?
Ooh. So, by intangible, does that mean like shit can go through me too? Like if somebody threw something at me, I'd just be like, well, whatever, I'm intangible?
I suppose so.
Can I choose to make myself not intangible?
I don't think so. I don't think you're like God.
Okay.
I don't think you can create and like uncreate matter. You can't just create and destroy it. Matter still is in existence with like the laws of the universe.
Well, you can create and destroy matter. I mean, it's just as long as energy is conserved in a closed system.
Well, you are intangible.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with invisibility then.
I think what would be the benefit to being intangible?
See, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is, like, you won't get impaled on things. I mean, like...
I don't think, like, in this scenario, can you become not invisible either?
No, I guess not. Well, I think if, like, I think you can, like, turn off your invisibility.
Can you?
If
you can't become, like, tangible...
Really?
If you can't become tangible, could you... Because, like, if you could become tangible...
There is no right answer for this one.
If you could become tangible, then, like, what's the difference becoming intangible and tangible and becoming invisible and visible? Like, there's no difference, really.
This really isn't as clear-cut as the electricity fascism one.
No, but is there a difference?
I
guess,
would
there be a difference?
I guess not. I guess not then I would go with being intangible.
So would I, because then you wouldn't get impaled.
And then people could see you.
Would people be able to see you if you're intangible?
Well, see, this is what I mean, it depends on how far you're willing to go in terms of...
How far you're willing to go? Like, it's like you're experimenting with drugs?
Yeah, whatever. I've dabbled in non-existence.
Oh, sorry. Alex Dunn has...
Did he clarify?
He's clarified. No, you can make yourself intangible at will, like Shadow Cat from X-Men.
Oh, cool. I guess the same thing goes for invisibility.
Invisibility, yeah.
Shoot. Man, this is hard. I don't know, which one would you go with?
Maybe still intangibility.
Yeah.
I think it's harder for everyone to wrap their mind around.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with invisibility.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. You can do cool spy stuff.
I just want to be able to get from point A to point B really quickly.
Well, I mean, just because you're intangible doesn't mean you can, like, you know, spontaneously appear in different parts of a room or something, right?
Couldn't I just like? I mean,
I don't think this is like Nightcrawler shit where it's just like, you know.
Alex Dunn says that I could walk through things.
Okay.
So
invisible means you can't be seen. Intangible means you can walk through things. I am going to go with intangible then.
Yeah, I just feel like invisible is like no one would want me around anymore because they would never know if I was just invisible.
So really, you would create this like culture of paranoia around you.
Yeah, everyone would think I was this voyeur. Whereas intangible, I'd just be like, "Ooh, I'm a ghost."
Right, you're just like, oh shit, now I'm in the room. Hey, I locked the doors. This is a private area.
Well, I don't know why this. Okay, we're gonna do one last question, and because I think we answered quite a few of them.
We did.
We are going to ask the very last question that has been asked in the chat, and we are basically out of time, so we have to answer this quickly. Kinetic Fetus asks, would you rather be immortal or invulnerable?
Oh, so invulnerability meaning like you can't get hurt?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Like basically the cheerleader from Heroes, I guess.
I haven't seen that show.
Okay, well, just imagine her like falling 3 stories and like being able to like put herself back together. And then I guess immortal would just be like, you know,
you can feel tons of pain, or like you could be a vegetable, but you're not necessarily dead.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
So I'm gonna go with invulnerable.
Yeah, I don't really think I'd want to live forever because everyone I know would die, and
yeah, and then you're all alone, and then like humanity gets wiped out, or who knows what, and then you're just reading books.
Yeah, I thought that maybe at first it would be like in The Watchmen, and I like attributed a bunch of other powers to it.
Right. You're just also like, Dr. Manhattan showed up in here, and it's like, wait, no.
I'm blue, and I'm naked, and I have loads of muscles, and I make everyone else incredibly uncomfortable with like my ego, but no. Yeah,
as you do.
I would rather be invulnerable, I think. But if you're invulnerable, how do you die?
Natural causes.
So your body is like slowly decaying, but
yeah, it's called aging.
Okay, so you just die of old age.
You would just die of old age.
Probably you'd live slightly longer than most everyone else, though.
Right, because you couldn't die from like an accident or whatever.
And then you die peacefully in your sleep.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds wonderful.
All right. Well,
I bet you have wonderful last words too.
Right.
Like, make me a Lunchable.
I wish I could have felt more pain. Right. So on that cheery note, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone, and good luck. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the RSS feed to see and listen to this podcast in all its forms.
To not see. Right.
You know what? Hush up. Hush your mouth.
All right.
But yes, you can subscribe to the channel youtube.com/JessicaMarzipan, and you can subscribe to the Perfect Squares podcast on iTunes or our RSS feed. We are every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, and please leave a comment down below and let us know what you like and don't like, and like and favorite this show. Thanks, guys. We're going to let the music play us out. And slightly too long. Whatever.
For reals. All right.
Bye. Bye.